How's it going? If you've ever found yourself being threatened with legal action by a client or a former client and you just don't know how to handle it, let me tell you a few things that will keep you on the right track from the outset. Many tradesmen, self-employed people, the minute they hear solicitor, the minute they hear anything legal, they panic because it's not something that they've been in. It's not a situation they've been in many times before. And when they find themselves dealing with something for the first time, it's panic stations. They don't know what to do. So I'm not that I'm happy to say, well, I know now how to deal with it, but I wasn't happy when I had to deal with it myself. But here's how you deal with it, right? Normally what happens is a client is not happy with the job that's being done and you want them to pay you, and the only option that they see as to how they can get out of paying you is they say, we're going to send them a solicitor's letter, we're going to take him to court, we're going to sue him, we're going to do all this sort of nonsense, right? So here's what you need to do. Never start a job unless you've got a written quotation signed by the client, right? So that you've got a quotation, you've given it to the client, and they've acknowledged that. So they've signed that and given it back to you. That's the starting point. You're now on the pitch at that stage, right? You've been hired. Many people would have a contract of some sort, but they just don't do it really as tight as they could do, right? So you get signed on, so to speak, right? The job goes on, the job gets finished. The next thing you need to do is you need to get the job signed off. Almost nobody signs a job off. That's where they go astray. And when you don't sign a job off, what happens then is the job is going on and on and on in the legal sense. So let's just say you finish your job after 4 weeks and you're chasing the client to get paid and they're not paying it for week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? All that they need to turn around and say to a judge or somebody if it ultimately ends up in court is that the job wasn't finished. We had a definitive start date, which was the day the man started the job, but we didn't have a definitive end date. And as far as the client is concerned, who's now trying to shaft you, they're saying they would have paid you if you would have finished the job. But you're saying the job is finished, and then they'll pull out all these snag lists that happen all the time as we've been down that road, right? So here's how you protect yourself. Sign the job on. When the job is finished, sign the job off. Now, just because you're signing off the job doesn't mean that you're going to get paid on that day. It just means that the job has been signed off. And you put in big bold letters at the bottom of your sign-off docket, do not sign this docket unless you are happy with all of the works as completed. All right? And it's called a sign-off document. It's a final sign-off, right? So let's just say the client doesn't pay you and all of a sudden now they're trying to find wriggle room to get away from you. The whole idea of the defence that they have when it does get to court, and unfortunately I've been in this situation a number of times, when it does get to court, the client cannot rely on the defence that the job wasn't finished. That's why they didn't pay you. Because it's not about the work now at this stage, it's about the money. So if you get the job signed on and you get the job signed off, the litigation may still happen. There's no doubt about that. But you're in a much stronger position now because they have signed to say the job has been finished. Now, as a barrister put it to us in court one day, these people are not qualified to know if that job is done correctly or not. They're not experts in that space. And we're like, okay, that's your argument. But they knew the job was finished. They were happy with it at the time. So when the client is happy with the job after it gets finished, and then they're unhappy with the job by the time it comes to getting paid, it has to have been something that happened after the job was signed off, but before they paid you, to cause them to become unhappy. And because you haven't been back on site since the job was signed, it can only be a warranty issue. It's something that falls under guarantee, and you're not allowed not pay a company the money and then still expect them to honour a guarantee. It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways. So it's just something that tradesmen need to be very careful of. And lads, I've put together a couple of documents. Like, I've used them in my business for years. I call them the 3 essential documents. You've probably heard me speaking about this before. But if you are a little bit weak on the paper side of things and you would like to get a copy of the quotation, the blank quotation that I used to give to my clients that has all my terms and conditions in it, I can give you one of them. And I can also give you a sample of the sign-off docket that we used to have. We used to have triplicate books, and we'd sign them, we'd rip one off, we'd leave one with the client, there'd be one in the book, and then the third one would go to the office, and we knew every job that was signed off. So if you want to get a copy of them, you can just go over to my website, go to joedoyle.ie/blog, and you will see the article on the blog that talks about getting jobs signed off, and there's a link in there. Just click the link, download them, and implement them into your business straight away. Because what will happen is, you've watched this video today, you know what happens now in business. Could be 6 months, could be 12 months down the line. Somebody is going to not pay you, and you haven't got the job signed on correctly. But the fact that they allowed you into their house, that's strong enough. But you don't have the job signed off properly, and you could be goosed, you know. So you just need to be very careful of that. You want to strengthen your position at all times, you know. So go over to my website, joedoyle.ie/blog, and you will see the article there about getting jobs signed off. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe, whatever the button is there. We're trying to push out and put a bit more effort into our YouTube channel. If you find some value in this, tell your friend. And if you want to get access to those documents, they're there, they're free. I've used them for years. We've done actually, like, I think, I don't know the exact number, it's more than 2,500, and it's less than 3,000 repairs in homes all over Leinster, would you say, when we were in the building game. So we've been around a long time. We've met a lot of people coming down the stairs in their jocks in the morning to let us into the house. We've seen them at their best, we've seen them at their worst. The vast majority of them were absolutely 100% to deal with. But unfortunately, you come across people from time to time. And as a small business owner, it's very important that we protect ourselves against that, you know. So, guys, thank you for watching this video. That web address again, if you want to get them documents, it's joedoyle.ie/blog. And you'll see the article there about getting jobs signed off. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. See you at the top.